been finally killed. All glories to Supreme Personality of Godhead.
O Dharmas and Daityas, all of you, hear me attentively, and then act according to my words without delay. My insignificant enemies, the demigods, have come together to kill my very dear and obedient brother Hiranyaksha. Although the Supreme Lord Vishnu is equal to both demigods and the demons, but this time, being devotedly worshipped by the demigods, he has taken their side and helped them to kill Hiranyaksha. I shall therefore sever Lord Vishnu's head from his trunk by my right hand, and with the profuse blood from his body, I shall please my brother Hiranyaksha, who was so fond of sucking blood. Thus, I shall be peaceful too. While I am engaged in the business of killing Lord Vishnu, go down to the planet Earth, which is flourishing due to Brahminical culture and Kshatriya government. Immediately go wherever there is a good production for the cows and brahmanas, and wherever the Vedas are studied in terms of Varnashrama principles. Set fire to those places and cut the trees from the roots there, which are the source of their life.
Instructions, demons engaged in envious activities directed against all living beings. The demons set fire to the cities, villages, pasturing grounds, gardens, agricultural fields, and natural forests. They burned the hermitages of saintly persons, the residential quarters of the agriculturists, and the villages of cow protectors, the cowherd men. They also burned the government capitals. Some demons took axes and began cutting the important trees that produced mango, jackfruit, and other sources of food. Some of the demons took fire bags and set fire to the residential quarters of the citizens. Thus, disturbed again and again by the unnatural occurrences caused by the followers of Hiranyakashipu, all the people had to cease the activities of Vedic culture. Not receiving the results of Yagna, the demigods also became disturbed. They left their residential quarters in the heavenly planets and, unobserved by the demons, began wandering on the planet Earth to see the disasters. Meanwhile, in the valley of Mandara Hill, Hiranyakashipu had begun performing his austerities by standing with his toes on the ground and keeping his arms upward and looking towards the sky. This position was extremely difficult, but he accepted it as a means to attain perfection.
Dear all, what is this happening all around the world? All planets are becoming extremely hot. All the rivers and oceans are agitated. The surface of the globe with all its mountains and islands are trembling, and all the directions are ablaze.
This is because of Hiranyakashipu's severe austerities. The fire and its smoke has spread all over the sky, encompassing the upper and lower planets.
Let us all approach the planet of Lord Brahma and pray for his mercy. O Master of the Universe, because of the fire emanating from Hiranyakashipu's head as a result of his severe austerities, we are all so disturbed that we could not stay in our planets, but come to your shelter. O Chief of the Universe, if you think it proper, kindly stop these disturbances, which are meant to destroy everything. Please stop it before all your obedient subjects are annihilated. O Lord, we have heard from reliable sources that in order to obtain your post, Hiranyakashipu is now engaged in this severe austerity. You are the master of the three worlds. Please, without delay, take whatever steps you deem appropriate. O Lord Brahma, your position within this universe is certainly most auspicious for everyone, especially the cows and the brahmanas. But unfortunately, if Hiranyakashipu occupies your seat, everything will be lost.
Dear King Indra and other demigods, please do not worry. I will immediately go and see Hiranyakashipu.
Informed by the demigods, the most powerful Lord Brahma, accompanied by Bhrigu, Daksha and other great sages, immediately started for the place where Hiranyakashipu was performing his penances and austerities. Lord Brahma, who was carried by a swan airplane, at first could not see where Hiranyakashipu was, as the Hiranyakashipu's body was covered by an anthill and by grass and bamboo sticks. Because Hiranyakashipu had been there for a long time. The ants had devoured his skin, fat, flesh and blood. Then Lord Brahma and the demigods spotted him, resembling a cloud-covered sun, heating all the world by his austerity. Struck with wonder, Lord Brahma began to smile and then addressed him as follows.
Perfected the performance of your austerities, and therefore I wish to give you a benediction. You may now ask from me whatever you desire, and I shall try to fulfill your wish. I have been very much astonished to see your endurance. In spite of being eaten and beaten by all kinds of worms and ants, you are keeping your life as circulating within your bones. This is amazing. Even saintly persons like Bhrigu, born previously, could not perform such severe austerities, nor will anyone be able to perform in future. Who within these three worlds can sustain his life without even drinking water for 100 celestial years? My dear son of deity, with your great determination and austerity, you have done what was impossible even for great saintly persons. And thus I have certainly been conquered by you. O best of Asuras, for this reason I am now prepared to give you all benedictions according to your desire.
I offer my obeisances to you, the original personality within this universe, who is cognizant and who can apply his mind and realize intelligence in creating this cosmic manifestation. You are Brahman, the super soul, the oldest, the personality of Godhead. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you, Supreme, who in His unlimited and unmanifested. O my Lord, O best of the givers of benediction, if you will kindly grant me the benediction I desire, please let me not meet death from any of the living entities created by you. Grant me that I not die within any residence or outside any residence, during daytime or at night, nor on the ground or in the sky. Grant me that my death not be brought by any being other than those created by you, nor by any weapon, nor by any human being or animal. Grant me that I not meet death from any entity, living or non-living. Grant me further that I not be killed by any demigod or demon, or by any great snake from the lower planets.
benedictions for which you have asked are difficult to obtain for most men. Nonetheless, O my son, I shall grant you them, although they are generally not available. But, being very much satisfied by your austerities, I am granting all the benedictions which you have asked for. Tathastu.
After being blessed by Lord Brahma, Hiranyakashipu became the conqueror of the entire universe. Indeed, he conquered all the planets in the three worlds, upper, middle and lower, including the planets of the human beings, the Gandharvas, the Garudas, the great serpents, the Siddhas, Charanas and Vidyadharas, the great saints, Yamaraj, the Manus, the Yakshas, the Rakshasas, the Pishachas and their masters, and the masters of the ghosts and bhutas. By dint of his personal power, Hiranyakashipu, being situated on the throne of King Indra, controlled the inhabitants of all the other planets. In fear of Hiranyakashipu, the earth yielded sufficient food grains, the cows supplied abundant milk, and the outer space was beautifully decorated with wonderful phenomena. Everyone, including the rulers of the various planets, was extremely distressed because of the severe punishment inflicted upon them by Hiranyakashipu. Fearful and disturbed, unable to find any other shelter, predominating deities of various planets at last surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu.
Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto that direction where the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated, where those purified souls in the renounced order of life, the great saintly persons, go, and from which, having gone, they never return.
Persons, do not fear. I wish all good fortune to you. Become my devotees by hearing and chanting about me and offering me prayers, for these are certainly meant to award benedictions to all living entities. I know all about the activities of Hiranyakashipu and shall surely stop them very soon. Please wait patiently until that time arrives. When one is envious of the demigods who represents the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Vedas, which give all knowledge of the cows, Brahmanas, Vaishnavas and religious principles, and ultimately of me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he and his civilization will be vanquished without delay. When Hiranyakashipu will tease the great devotee Prahlad, his own son, who is peaceful and sober and who has no enemy, I shall kill Hiranyakashipu immediately despite the benediction of Brahma.
When the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the spiritual master of everyone, thus reassured all the demigods living in the heavenly planets, they offered their respectful obeisances unto him and returned confident that the demon Hiranyakashipu was now practically dead. Hiranyakashipu had 4 wonderful, well-qualified sons, of whom the one named Prahlad was the best. Indeed, Prahlad was born in a family of Asuras, but still he was completely cultured as a qualified Brahmana. Having a very good character and being determined to understand the absolute truth, Prahlad Maharaj was always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. Hiranyakashipu's spiritual master, Shukracharya, had two sons named Shanda and Amarta, to whom Prahlad Maharaj was entrusted for education. Although the teachers tried to educate the boy Prahlad in politics, economics, and other material activities, he did not care for their instructions. Indeed, he continued to be a pure devotee. Once, Hiranyakashipu inquired from his son, what is the best thing that he had learned from his teachers? Prahlad Maharaj replied, one who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through the 9 processes of bhakti should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. When Hiranyakashipu heard from his son about devotional service, he decided that the small boy had been polluted by some friend in school. Thus, he advised the teachers to take care of the boy so that he would not become a Krishna-conscious devotee. They taught him to the best of their ability and then brought him before his father.
My dear Prahlad, my dear son, oh long live one, for so much time you have heard many things from your teachers. Now please repeat to me whatever you think is the best of that knowledge.
Hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering praise to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord's one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through the 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge.
Oh unqualified, most heinous son of a Ramana, you have disobeyed my order and taken shelter of the party of my enemies. You have taught this poor boy about devotional service. What is this nonsense?
O enemy of King Indra, O king, whatever your son Prahlad has said was not taught to him by me or anyone else. His spontaneous devotional service has naturally developed in him. Therefore, please give up your anger and do not unnecessarily accuse us. It is not good to insult a Brahmana in this way.
You rascal, most foreign of our family, if you have not received this education from your teachers, where have you gotten it?
Because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress toward hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclinations toward Krishna are never aroused, either by the instructions of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both.
Oh demons, take this boy away from me. He deserves to be killed. Kill him as soon as possible. This boy Prahlad is the killer of my brother, for he has given up his family to engage in the devotional service of my enemy Lord Vishnu like a menial servant. If a limb of one's body is poisoned by disease, it must be amputated so that the rest of the body may live happily.
When all the attempts of the demons to kill Prahlad Maharaj were futile, the king of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, being most fearful, began contriving other means to kill him. Hiranyakashipu could not kill his son by throwing him beneath the feet of big elephants, throwing him among huge fearful snakes, hurling him from the top of a hill, conjuring up illusory tricks, administering poison, starving him, exposing him to severe cold, winds, fire and water, or throwing heavy stones to crush him. When Hiranyakashipu found that he could not in any way harm Prahlad, who was completely sinless, he was in great anxiety about what to do next.
have used many ill names in chastising this boy Prahlad, and have devised many means of killing him. But despite all my endeavors, he could not be killed. Indeed, he saved himself by his own powers, without being affected in the least by these treacheries and abominable actions. I can see that this boy's strength is unlimited, for he has not feared any of my punishments. He appears immortal. Therefore, because of my enmity towards him, I shall die. Or maybe this will not take place.
Thinking in this way, the king of Daityas, morose and bereft of bodily luster, remained silent with his face downward. Then Shanda and Amarka, the two sons of Shukracharya, spoke to him in secret. As for Prahlad, he is nothing but a child and cannot be a cause of anxiety. After all, his bad or good qualities have no value. In any case, by the time he is somewhat grown up and has assimilated our instructions or served our spiritual master, he will change in his intelligence. Thus, there need be no cause for anxiety. After hearing these instructions of Shanda and Amarka, the sons of his spiritual master, Hiranyakashipu agreed and requested them to instruct Prahlad in that system of occupational duty which is followed by the royal householder families.
Okay, now it is okay, now it is your playtime. We both are going for lunch.
My dear friends, every human being has a maximum duration of life of 100 years. But for one who cannot control his senses, half of those years are completely lost because at night he sleeps 12 hours, being covered by ignorance. Therefore, such a person has a lifetime of only 50 years. In the tender age of childhood, when everyone is bewildered, one passes 10 years. Similarly, in boyhood, engaged in sporting and playing, one passes another 10 years. In this way, 20 years are wasted. Similarly, in old age, when one is an invalid, unable to perform even material activities, one passes another 20 years wastefully. One whose mind and senses are uncontrolled becomes increasingly attached to family life because of insatiable lusty desires and a very strong illusion. In such a madman's life, the remaining years are also wasted because even during those years, he cannot engage himself in devotional service. Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the well-wisher and friend of all living entities, formally explained this transcendental knowledge to the great Saint Narada. Such knowledge is extremely difficult to understand without the mercy of a saintly person like Narada. But everyone who has taken shelter of Narada's disciplined succession can understand this confidential knowledge. I received this knowledge from the great Saint Narada Muni, who is always engaged in devotional service.
Dear Prahlad, neither you nor we know any teacher
or spiritual master other than Santa and Amarka. The sons of Shukracharya, would you kindly explain how it was possible for you to hear Narada?
When our father, Hiranyakashipu, went to Mandarachala mountain to execute severe austerities, in his absence, the demigods, headed by King Indra, made a severe attempt to subdue all the demons in warfare. The victorious demigods plundered the palace of Hiranyakashipu, the king of demons, and destroyed everything within it. Then, Indra, king of heaven, arrested my mother, the queen.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. O Indra, king of the demigods, this woman is certainly sinless. You should not drag her off in this merciless way. O greatly fortunate one, this just woman is wife of another. You must immediately leave her.
In the womb of this woman, the wife of the demon Hiranyakashipu, is the seed of that great demon. Therefore, let her remain in our custody until her child is delivered, and then we shall release her.
The child within this woman's womb is faultless and sinless. Indeed, he is a great devotee, a powerful servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you will not be able to kill him. My dear child, come with me and please remain at my ashram until the arrival of your husband.
After accepting the instructions of Devarshi Narada, my mother stayed in his care, without fear from any direction, as long as my father, the king of the Daityas, had not become free from his severe austerities. My mother, being pregnant, desired the safety of her embryo and desired to give birth after her husband's arrival. Thus, she stayed at Narada Muni's ashram, where she rendered service unto Narada Muni with great devotion. Narada Muni delivered his instructions both to me, who is within the womb, and to my mother, who is engaged in rendering him service. Because of the long duration of time that has passed, and because of her being a woman, my mother has forgotten all those instructions. But the great sage Narada blessed me, and therefore I could not forget them.
When Hiranyakashipu understood the entire situation, he was extremely angry, so much so that his body trembled. Thus, he finally decided to kill his son Prahlad. Hiranyakashipu was by nature very cruel, and feeling insulted, he began hissing like a snake, trampled upon by someone's foot. His son Prahlad was very peaceful, mild and gentle. His senses were under control, and he stood before Hiranyakashipu with folded hands. According to Prahlad's age and behavior, he was not to be chastised. Yet, with staring crooked eyes, Hiranyakashipu rebuked him with the following harsh words.
Oh, most impudent, most unintelligent disruptor of the family, oh lowest of the mankind, you have violated my power to rule you, and therefore you are an obstinate fool. Today, I shall send you to the place of Yamaraj. My son Prahlad, you rascal, you know that when I am angry, all the planets of the three worlds tremble along with their chief rulers. By whose power has a rascal like you become so impudent that you appear fearless and overstep my power to rule you?
My dear king, the source of my strength, of which you are asking, is also the source of yours. Indeed, the original source of all kinds of strength is one. He is not only your strength or mine, but the only strength for everyone. Without him, no one can get any strength, whether moving or not moving, superior or inferior. Everyone, including Lord Brahma, is controlled by the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My dear father, please give up your demoniac mentality. Do not discriminate in your heart between enemies and friends. Make your mind equipoised towards everyone.
You rascal! Most unfortunate Prahlad! You have always described a supreme being other than me, a supreme who is above everything, who is controller of everyone, and who is all pervading. But where is he? If he is everywhere, then why he is not present before me in this pillar? Because you are speaking so much nonsense, I shall now sever your head from your body. Now let me see your most worshipful God come to protect you. I want to see it.
Chaturdasi